friends and neighbors. This is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. Y'all remember us? We're the people that used to do videos. Well, we're back. Sorry. So over the past couple weeks, we've been working on getting ourselves, the farm, the animals, everything moved, and we're starting to get settled in a little bit. Still hadn't closed. That's a big story. We'll tell you that later. But anyway, we got some turkeys out on the pasture. We've had them in some tractors. Our buddy Jamie over at 7 Stands Farms brooded those birds for us in our brooders, and now we got them here on the farm. They've been in tractors, we've been moving for a couple days. So today we're going to let them out. So let's go out and get some fence set up. We'll show you some other things we got going on. We're buying feed a little different these days. I'm excited to show that to you. But hang out with us for a little bit, and let's just catch up. So I want to talk about these totes real quick. We are excited about this. With the new farm, we're also buying another tractor. It's a 70 horsepower New Holland that can handle a little bit bigger material than what we've been able to handle in the past with that 45 horsepower Coyote that we've got. So these first three large bags that you see here, this is hog feed. 2,000 pounds. 2,080 pounds, and then I think that last one down there is about 2,240 pounds. So 3 tons of feed in these are called super sacks. We were able to get these instead of, in the past what we've been doing, this is chicken feed back here. In the past what we've been doing is buying hog feed in 50-pound bags, and we actually had to get those guys to split those out into 1,000-pound pallets, because that was about all. That other tractor would lift about 1,200 pounds. That was about it. This one here now, we lifted this one 2,240 pounds yesterday. Gets a little light in the seat, but it will handle it. But this saves us a bunch of money. We've calculated it out. I think we're saving about $40 a ton on feed. So that right there represents 120 bucks saving on our hog feed. So no bags. Yeah, I mean, another thing about those bags, creates a lot of waste, a lot of trash. Because those bags are single use. You know, you pour 50 pounds of feed out, boom, you got a paper bag you got to deal with. So big move on the farm here. This is going to save us some money, help us be a little bit more cost efficient on our work. But this is impressive. I mean, there's enough there's enough hog feed down in there to bury somebody under. So it's a pretty neat deal. All right, that's a new deal. We'll talk more about these later on. Talk about the features and some other stuff that this is going to allow us to do. So excited about that. Okay, so what we got going on here is these are our Thanksgiving turkeys. And honestly, we didn't think we were going to be able to do Thanksgiving turkeys this year because of the move. And we were processing. What were we processing? Some chickens, or we had a couple turkeys or something? What were we doing? Were we doing some other turkeys? We're doing that other batch of turkeys, weren't we? Yeah, we only had 5 of those. So we were processing a few turkeys that we had left at the farm in Greensboro. And I don't know if it was Sandra or me, or it was a combination. She says she knows who it was. I think it was both of us. We had an idea of, you know, during the move, we would get Jamie Miles, like I said, our friend over at 7 Stands, to brood these birds, get them started, and then when we got here, we would put them out on pasture and finish them out on pasture like we normally do. We were on a little bit of a tight timeline. It was going to take us about, these birds are going to end up being, what, about 12 weeks? About 12 weeks old come processing time. So they're going to be a little smaller than what we've done in the past, but that's okay. We've had a lot of customers that wanted smaller birds and didn't want those, you know, 20 and 22 pound turkeys that we were raising. So Jamie went ahead and brooded them out for us. We brought them out on pasture. They've been here for about a week now, week and a half maybe. They're gonna be a month old on Tuesday. So yeah, they've been here about 2 weeks, because he brooded them for about 2 weeks. But we started them right back here next to the fence, and we've just been marching them forward every day ever since. There were a couple days that they stayed in one spot for 2 days, just because they were really, really small, low manure load, and that was fine. That worked out great. We've only lost 2. We ordered 60, so we got 58 left. That, y'all, knock on some wood, thank the good Lord above, that for us in the past, to just lose 2 turkeys out of a batch of 60 is unheard of. So we are just extremely satisfied with our loss so far. So what we're going to do today, like I said, we've had them in these tractors, been moving them daily. It's time for them to go out on some pasture. So we're going to put some netting up around them, and we're going to turn them loose on this. And I don't know, I posted on our Facebook page a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, which turkey would you rather have? Would you rather have a bird that was raised on this, fresh air, green grass, sunshine, bugs, worms, grubs, whatever they can get out here and forage for, or one of those butterball turkeys that's raised in those confinement feeding operations where those birds never get any fresh air, no sunshine? The buildings are filled with dust, and that's not dust, that is particulated turkey manure that those animals are breathing every single day. Out here, they got fresh air, they got sunshine. We're going to provide them with some shelter. We're going to leave the turkey tractors, we're going to leave these chicken tractors in the field with them, so that they've got a place they can go in and get out of the rain. They've got some shelter, some shade. I mean, it's just a different, yeah, it's just a different different atmosphere that these birds are being raised in. Added bonus, in the past we've had a little predation problem. We're going to try this. This may be an unmitigated disaster, but you got to try. Over here in tractor number 3, so I think we got 29 and 29 in each one of these. Over here in tractor number 3, we have some guard geese. We're going to put these geese in with these turkeys and see if they'll provide a little guard protection. So we got us some livestock guardian geese, some LGGs. So, all right, let's get some netting up. Got the number 1 farm hand out here already putting up her netting. So let's get some netting up. Let's get these birds out on grass in the pasture where they belong. Clip them.
Yeah.
Their wings?
Yeah. And I say we let the turkeys out and give them 2 or 3 days before we let the geese up.
Okay, so what we're doing here is we have built out a paddock with our poultry netting for the turkeys. And I use one section of, this is the Premier 1 poultry netting. It's the 48 inch tall stuff. Forget exactly. But anyway, I used a 100-foot section there, and then I used a 164-foot section to finish it off all the way around. I think I've talked about this in the past. My preference, and in my experience, the 100-foot sections, the shorter sections, are much, much easier to manage. A little more expensive on a per foot price compared to the 164 foot, but doesn't weigh as much, it's not as bulky, it's quicker, it's easier, and as Sandra lovingly likes to remind me from time to time, I'm not getting any younger. So we used the 100-foot section, and then I just had another 164-foot section handy. Everything else is tied up right now. I think we're going to get a little more netting. But anyway, so 264 linear feet, that ends up giving them about 1/10 of an acre. Divide that out by 58 turkeys. These turkeys are getting 75 square feet per turkey. 75 square feet per turkey. Those hot houses, CAFOs, those birds might be getting 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 if they're lucky square foot per bird. So much better for the birds again. So we got our netting set up. We're going to put a grounding post in. We're going to hang a Gallagher Energizer. We'd showed these in the past. We bought a couple of these big Gallagher solar energizers. Love these things. They work really good. This is the S40. I'll put a link to that in the description down below if you're interested in it. Works great on the netting. Also on the wire, pushes a lot of juice through there. So let's get this grounding post in. We just use a T-post because they're temporary. We get good ground from that. And this is fantastic soil. Got a little rain coming. So we're gonna put this grounding post in, hook this thing up. We're gonna test it, see how hot we are, and we're gonna let these turkeys out to join the 2 that are already out. Like this little guy right here. Keep your head back away from that thing. It's around your thumb. Okay, we got our Energizer hooked up over there, and a little concerned. I mean, I'm getting 0.8 up high, but I mean, you know, really down here's where you're a little more concerned about it at. So we're getting 0.8 right there, and wish I could get more, but the issue I think that we're running into is this is tall grass. I mean, there's a lot of grass out here that's really thick, and short of coming in with a bush hog and mowing it, which I don't really want to do, I don't know that we're going to get much better. So we're going to try them. We're going to put them out here and see what happens, and see how they do. But Sondra's got the Energizer over there. Got a good ground. Well, she's turned it off. Got a good ground. So let's open these up and let these birds out. See what we're going to do. We picked up a couple of these big long chicken feeders with the feet on them at a flea market a couple weeks ago. Those of y'all have been buying these things for some of that Joanna Gaines farmhouse cheek stuff. There's still some of us actually use this for what its intended purpose is, and not flower planters or other crafty projects. Nothing against Joanna Gaines and farmhouse chic. I mean, I'm just kind of making a joke. But some of this old stuff, if you can find it, I mean, it's very serviceable, usable, and works great on your farm. And you know, a lot of it you can pick up cheaper than the new stuff too. I think we paid, what we paid, like 20 bucks a piece for those? Paid 20 bucks a piece for those things. And those galvanized feeders, like what that turkey's sitting in right there, how much are those things? Those things are like 35 bucks. So, you know, I mean, they got a little surface rust, but they ain't no reason why these things won't work. We'll just put them inside the, we're gonna put them inside the tractors here. But yeah, we're just gonna feed them out of these things, see how it goes. Got these little bars on top, they spin, so if a turkey or a chicken, you know, we'll eventually use these for chickens too, tries to roost on those things, they can't stand on it, it just spins out from under them, keeps them from pooping in their feeder. Hey, you can adjust the height on these things. Hey.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. You got 3 holes in the side. You got 3 holes in the side.
So turkeys are, so we got to calculate, went back and added up. These turkeys are actually going to be 6 weeks old in a couple days. And at about 7 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks is whenever you can start putting them out on netting and they start learning it. And even then, turkeys are not very smart on netting. They will stick their head through these perforations in the fence, catch a bug or a grasshopper, reach out and get a piece of grass, shock the snot out of them. They'll just pull their head back in, kind of shake it off, and keep on trucking. So, not the smartest critters in the world, but the netting does work. He'll keep them in, primarily to keep predators out. It's a big deal there. So, but man, we're out here doing our thing. So a little bit more on management on these birds on pasture like this. We're going to leave these Saskatchewan style chicken tractors in here with them for, like I said earlier, shelter, and then the waters are in there. So there's not going to be as much pressure on that square space or on that 6 foot by 12 foot area. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to move those tractors around in here a couple of times while they're inside this netting. Now, we won't move them off the netting, won't move them off this paddock every day. They'll end up getting moved once a week, once every 10, 14 days, something like that, depending on when as they get bigger and there's more pressure on the ground and we start seeing a lot of manure buildup and that kind of thing. We don't want a lot of that, but whenever we start seeing some manure buildup, then it's time to go. That's why we move the tractors, because that's where the concentration of manure is going to be. The really cool thing about turkeys that we've noticed in our experience over the years as we've had turkeys is that they make a much more noticeable impact on the quality of the grass growing than chickens do. And I think it's because of, I think their manure is probably a little bit more mineralized because they eat a lot more grit than the chickens do. So I think their manure is a little more mineralized, and then that kind of feeds back into the ground and we get better grass. Of course, this is some pretty daggone good grass that we got going here, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what these turkeys are going to do with that. So that's a little bit on the management. Got to keep your shelter moving because you do get a manure buildup there, and then the turkeys, the whole paddock as a whole, can move a little less frequently than you would moving those chickens, because they are roaming, ranging, and they've just got, like I said, these turkeys got 75 square foot per bird, so a lot more space. So got those turkeys opened up out on some pasture now like they're supposed to be, so I think that's going to be really good. Went back and put some grit on them, put those bigger feeders on them. I think they're really going to take off now. But like I said earlier, part of the reason that we've not done a video in a couple of weeks now, I think we're getting close to 3 weeks. That's the longest I've ever gone without doing a video. And I certainly apologize to everybody for no more updates, or kind of letting you know what was going on. But this past 3 weeks have really been kind of a whirlwind in getting stuff moved. It's a big chore to just move yourself and move a household, but when you start talking about moving animals and farm equipment and all that kind of stuff, and it's an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half one way, so it takes up a large chunk of the day just driving and getting stuff moved. And we get in the mode and we get to moving and we get to working, and it's been tough to get the camera out and record anything meaningful other than us throwing stuff on a truck and moving it and that kind of thing. But
well, and you would have got fussed at too. And
I would have got fussed at. Yep. See, by her own admission, I would have got fussed at for taking up a bunch of time shooting video. But anyway, we apologize for that. A couple things on the real estate deals that I think we want to pass along. You should see this video on Monday morning. If that's the case, we're going to close on this property tomorrow, Tuesday, and then it will officially be ours. So we're glad to get that done. Said it over and over again, the folks that we're buying this property off of have just been really, really accommodating to let us bring stuff up, to stay here, to be here, because that was another issue. We had some animals here, some animals in Greensboro, so a lot of days we were dividing up. One person would be staying up here, another person would be staying down there. So that was a little bit of a challenge. The property in Greensboro, we had a contract on that. We were negotiating through some repairs. We got really, really close on a dollar figure, and the potential buyers backed away. So we had to relist. I mentioned Thad, our friend who bought Jack. He's a realtor. That's how we kind of met up with him. And actually, we had done some castration on some piglets for Thad way back last spring, late winter. But we had Thad relisted the property for us on a Wednesday. I think we had an accepted offer on Saturday.
Yep.
Is that right? We had a new accepted offer on Saturday. Long story short, that's going to end up, right now it looks like that's going to end up working out a little bit better for us anyway. So, you know, good Lord looks out for drunkards and fools and crazy farmers. And he has for sure looked out for us on a number of occasions. But we're going to get back in the mode of doing a couple videos a week. There's a lot on this farm that we want to show you, we want to share with you. We want you to follow along with us and see what we're doing. Lots of cool projects I think that we're kind of thinking about planning on. We got a lot of fencing work to do. I'm going to have to learn how to do stretch and pull and repair barbed wire fence, so that's going to be a fun adventure for everybody, I'm sure. I'd reckon. Chainsaw work, we're going to work on the shop up here. We've been cleaning on it. We're going to do some different stuff in there. We're excited about that. I've never had this much hard solid surface, meaning concrete, to work on in my life, so that's going to be really nice to be able to, you know, wash a truck without getting dust and dirt and gravel all over it whenever you're trying to clean up and that kind of thing. But anyway, we really appreciate all the kind words, comments, emails, checking in on us just to make sure we were even still alive. I had a bad injury. I stuck a knife through my arm a couple of weeks ago, taking the chicken tractor apart. Wish I'd had the camera on for that, but we didn't. And that would, YouTube probably would have blocked it. There was there was a lot of blood.
That wouldn't have worked.
There was a lot of blood. But anyway, please continue to keep us in our prayers. We can tell that y'all are thinking about us, and we really do appreciate that. And may God bless you and your families. We'll see you on the next video.